Africa, as it once was. Here in the heart of the great Kalahari Desert lies a remarkable oasis, an immense delta called the Okavango. It's a sanctuary for a natural world unchanged in many ways since the dawn of humanity. The Okavango is a place like nowhere else in Africa. A rich tapestry of wildlife woven together by the life-giving waters of this vast Eden. This is a world of tranquil beauty, but even so, the eternal struggle for survival goes on continually. Here too, the rules of the hunt are ever-changing, subject to the capricious ebb and flow of the Okavango's floodwaters. Some prey animals must be taken quickly before they reach deep water. But nowhere is truly safe. Wild dogs of Africa are superb predators, but their hunting skills are rigorously challenged during times of flood by species of antelope, especially adapted to the wetlands. Water defines this remarkable place, and it often decides who will succeed and who will fail, who will survive and who will perish. Here in Africa's great waterland, the Okavango. The heart of the Okavango is a permanent swamp, a maze of lagoons and channels coursing through reeds and grasses and blankets of water lilies. Filtered by vegetation and sand, these pure waters become crystal clear. The existence of a watery refuge here in the midst of one of the world's great deserts is the result of a unique interplay between climate and geology. Its source is the Okavango River, one of the longest in southern Africa. On reaching Botswana, it meanders between two geological faults. Then the river spills out onto a vast floodplain. It divides into a network of channels and wetlands, creating one of the largest inland deltas in the world. The delta can be seen from space, spreading like a giant hand across the face of southern Africa. It's born of summer rains 1,000 miles to the north in the highlands of Angola. Fed by these rains, the Okavango River slowly winds through a long panhandle before entering the permanent swamp. There it is further slowed by flat terrain and dense vegetation. Over the next few months, the level of the permanent swamp rises almost imperceptibly. When the new water finally reaches the floodplain, it arrives at the height of the dry season. This is the miracle of the Okavango. The delta's unique environment begins in the panhandle, where the river meanders for some 60 miles. Thousands of carmine bee-eaters migrate here to nest in the steep, sandy banks. These strikingly beautiful birds primarily live on honeybees and other flying insects caught on the wing. They lay their eggs when the water is low, in tunnels usually 5 to 6 feet long. This is also the main breeding ground of one of the Okavango's more sinister creatures. Baby crocodiles hatch as the river is rising. It will provide them a convenient means of transport. Many of the young crocs will drift with the current southeast into the heart of the Okavango Delta. This permanent swamp is a water wilderness of swamp grasses, ferns, and lilies. This tangled world seems half liquid, half vegetation, and it never dries. Floodwaters, in years of abundant rain, can double the area of the swamp to some 5,000 square miles. Elephants are among the few large mammals that venture into the heart of the permanent swamp. They browse on the foliage while the young frolic in the Okavango shallows. This is a sanctuary for the shy and elusive Sitatunga, a water-loving antelope that seldom ventures outside the permanent swamp. And this is the only place in Africa where the slaty egret can be found in numbers. It's one of the rarest herons in the world. The inner swamp is a nesting haven for a rich variety of water birds, and there are huge colonies. Here, the yellow-billed stork can raise their hatchlings in isolated safety. Other water birds are drawn to the swamp simply to hunt and feed. This saddlebill haunts the shallows, seeking fish and frogs. The marabou storks nest by the thousands here in low-spreading fig trees. Stalking the waterways, the marabou can sometimes bring a quick end to a young crocodile's journey.